Good Wednesday morning. It is 8 a.m. here on the East Coast. I am your host, BKP. I am glad to be here. North Georgia's only live online morning show. A little cold this morning, not bad. Beautiful afternoon temperatures. Fall October temperatures. Going to be a nice evening for the trick-or-treaters. I come in this morning out front. There must be $300 worth of candy. I'm like, what the hell? And then I run into the old original dum-dums. The old original dum-dums. No, these are not Democrat treats. These are lollipops, suckers. Let's see. We could use all the references, okay? All right. But I ran into the original dum-dums. Again, these are not Democrat treats. It has to be $300 worth of candy out there. We are going to have, I think, the staff, our general manager in charge, has everybody set up. Everybody's going to be somewhere handing out candy to the little trick-or-treaters, taking your pictures of the little kitties and putting them on the line. So we're going to be blowing that up. You can go to Fetch Your News Facebook page, and you'll be able to see all over North Georgia all of the trick-or-treaters getting out. We take a lot of pictures. We put them up there just so you can have them and enjoy them. Okay, here's how you contact the show. If you have the nerve. I don't think you got the nerve. But anyhow, 706-889-9700. You can text me. Boom, it's right here. I'm looking at it. I mean, boom. If you want to say it, boom, it's right there. 706-889-9700. You can text me, say, hey, I'd like to be on the show. Our producer can get in touch with you, maybe get you on the show. Chief@FetchYourNews.com, and there's all the social media ways you can follow us. So, they have been looking for, the media, the fake news media has been looking for their white nationalist. They need one. They said, give us somebody in this last 6-day stretch of the campaign. Trump said he's a nationalist. We don't know if people are catching on that means white nationalist is what the media is trying to sell you. Don Lemon says that the only danger you have, that's CNN's Don Lemon. Don Lemon says the only fear you should have out there is me. You should be in fear of me. White males, approximately my age. I feel like I'm on a bolo? Be on the lookout? It's for me. I'm like, who am I looking for on this white male, white nationalist list? Who could that be? Oh my God. You know, I'm on the milk carton. Be on the lookout. Ooh. They found their white nationalist, and we're going to get to some serious stuff today because you need to stay with us. We're going to talk the president setting the tone. Yes, folks. Okay, we'll get to birthright citizenship yesterday. That trial balloon went up just so the left could explode. It went up so the left could explode and show truly that they are completely against any border security or any checks and balances there at the border. Let me turn this off. Apologize that. So we promise we'll get into that. But the president's going to set the tone. All right, and we're going to get into the Georgia governor's race. President coming to town. I'm going to tell you what I think about President Trump coming Sunday at 4 o'clock to Macon. But they found their white nationalists. Give me number 42. Okay. So they found Steve. Give my glasses on here. I can't see it. They found GOP Representative Steve King facing criticism amid white nationalist rhetoric. So they've been looking for him. They found him. They need it. And we'll get into Stephen King and some things that he said earlier. Steve King, not Stephen. Steve King. Sorry about that. But we will get into some things where Steve King, and that's MSNBC, and I think that is is at 5 a.m. this morning. I can't see it from here on the bottom right corner, and my computer's not bringing that picture up. Yes, 5 a.m. 5 a.m. Eastern Time. MSNBC led with that. That was their lead, 5 a.m. this morning. That's the reason I take those screenshots so you can see the direction. But they have been looking for their white nationalist, okay? And Trump's poll numbers are going way down, and they're crashing behind his response to the pipe bomber, his response to the shooting out in Pittsburgh, his response or his claims of nationalists. It is crashing all around him. But yet, in the next 6 days, he does what, 11 stops, one in Georgia at 4 o'clock, Macon this coming Sunday, and at 7 o'clock in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So they found their white nationalists. There they are. They're going to go with it all day long, and they needed that because they are working overtime to try to create the blue wave. Let's switch to Stacey Abrams, okay? Now, let's switch to Georgia, all right? Let's put up number 1. Let's go with number 1 there, okay? Now, this is Moms Demand Action, all right? Now, the Georgia governor's race has Democrat socialist Stacey Abrams. She is the leader. Now, another thing, I guess in a way, that has been good for conservative Georgians across the state is to see that actually, let's not forget, Stacey Abrams is the minority leader of the House of Representatives in the state of Georgia. So it is also, for a lot of people that did not know Stacey Abrams before this campaign, okay, you know now that not only is the Democrat Socialist running for governor of Georgia, she is currently the representative, the minority leader in the House of Representatives of the state of Georgia. So I want to say this before I get too far in, okay? And I'm going to explain why, all right? If elected, I do believe Stacey Abrams will take guns away from law-abiding citizens in Georgia. One more time, I truly believe, okay, that she will. This is not rhetoric. This is not anything. I've been taking a lot of time to look at this, all right? A lot of time to look at this. If you watch the show, I have brought up Moms Demand Action before. If you remember my interview with Lee Shiver that's running against Rick Jaspers down here, I forget the district south here for House of Representatives, State House of Representatives. You remember I interviewed him and I talked to him about Moms Demand Action, okay? So I've looked at this pretty deep, and I've been waiting for the right time. Maybe it should have been a couple weeks ago when early voting started. But I come to you and I directly say that I feel good now, not good, but I feel I'm able to clearly look at the camera and say, if elected, Stacey Abrams will take guns away, will participate and do what she has to take guns away from law-abiding citizens, all right, in the state of Georgia that have every right by the Constitution to have those guns. I do believe that. I do also believe very firmly that she will, okay, she will participate. Now, you're going to ask me, how can a governor participate? She will participate, okay, in helping impeach the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. She will not. If you're out there in Georgia, listen to me very closely, and you're a voter, okay? All right? She will not participate or work with the federal government, the executive branch, the White House at any time. She will not work with them no matter what she claims. She will go against, okay, the White House on every single thing they do. Georgia will have a strained relationship. Listen to me close. I keep telling you this because it's wake-up time, because it's getting close for those that didn't go early vote to make up your mind and go vote. Georgia will have a strained relationship. I mean, in the nicest way, strained relationship with the White House. You need to, I'm going to convey to you this, and I want to stay away from telling you what you need to do and what you should do. I want to be careful with that, okay? But I will tell you this. From Georgia House Speaker David Ralston to Georgia State Senator Steve Gooch to the governor, to our Senator David Perdue, our representatives Doug Collins and many more across the state, okay? We have had countless numbers of our representatives involved in the working sessions in Georgia, okay, with the president. Health care, no matter what it is, health care, transportation, opiate addiction crisis, no matter what it is, you have the state of Georgia, you have had representatives at the table every time in these discussions. They always bring representatives from Georgia in. So, because they want to see the positives and when they want to see the good things that are going on in Georgia and maybe implement them across the country. My opinion is, my fear this morning is that if Stacey Abrams is elected, we will no longer be used, the state of Georgia, at the executive level in Washington, D.C. to help implement our good ideas, the good things going on in our state in the rest of the country. My fear is it'll flip-flop and the rest of the country will implement their ideas, their philosophy, and their form of government in Georgia, which I do not accept. I feel Hollywood, George Soros, Tom Steyer, and Michael Bloomberg will win the day with Stacey Abrams. So she will participate in helping impeach the President of the United States, and we as Georgians will no longer have that relationship. Because let me say this, okay? Let me say this, and there's a reason moms demand action for guns, for gun sense in America. We're going to leave that up there right now, okay? But let me say this. I believe that not seeing the candidates in the field for the Democrats and not knowing the next 2 years, I don't have a crystal ball, okay? But I feel that President Donald Trump will get reelected, okay? I say jokingly all the time that you're not gonna convince me the American people don't want to see season 2 of Donald Trump when they go vote and make a decision. I don't think they want to cancel the show. Well, I'm not calling him. I think the president's very serious and on the right track. But as far as that's concerned, I don't think the American people are going to cancel him out in 2020 and decide that they want to, go with someone else. That's one thing. But the reality that is at hand that we're looking at is if there's a Stacey Abrams as governor of Georgia, there will be a Donald Trump as president of the United States no matter what happens for 2 years. And it will be detrimental to the state of Georgia. She will be detrimental to the state of Georgia. Okay, now, I do believe she wants to take your guns. Yes, I do believe that. And I do believe if given the chance, I've heard the whole voter suppression stuff. It's garbage, okay? All right? I do believe she wants to take your guns. Now, let's roll Moms Demand Action. All right, now look at the logo up here in the right-hand corner. Is it my right-hand corner, yours, whatever it is, left-hand corner there? There it is. Okay, look at the logo, all right? Moms Demand Action up there, the blue, red, and white. Let's play Stacey Abrams' appearance on The View, and let's play Meghan McCain asking her a question, and then we'll come back. Let's go with that, Josh.
And if you meet those rules, you should be allowed to vote without hurdles.
Leader, yeah. Leader Abrams, this is Meghan McCain.
Yes.
Thank you for coming to the show. You have been endorsed by Everytown, which is an anti-gun organization, Michael Bloomberg's anti-gun group as well. You say you're proud to have an F rating from the NRA. Michael Bloomberg and others like him, in the wake of what happened in Pittsburgh, support taking away the AR-15, which is the most popular rifle in America, away from people. Do you, like Everytown, support banning the AR-15?
So let's be clear, I am not anti-gun. My great-grandmother taught me how to shoot when I was growing up in Mississippi. I like trap shooting, I like target shooting. I don't hunt because I mostly eat chicken, and that just seems mean. However, I know that the most responsible gun owners understand that they have the responsibility for the firearms and making sure that only responsible people have those firearms. That's why I believe in a background check. I believe in a 3-day waiting period. I believe that those who commit domestic violence and stalking should not have access to weapons. I do not believe that weapons of mass destruction like the AR-15 belong in civilian hands.
So you think it should be banned?
I do. I think they should be prohibited from civilian use. I've shot an AR-15, and I think you probably have too. And while it's an amazing amount of power, it also is an amazing amount of destruction. And there is very little that can be done to protect vulnerable communities when the AR-15 is present.
I do appreciate your honesty, and I assume that by banning it, you would be rounding them up. It's the most popular gun in America. Around 61% of all U.S. civilian rifle sales. Would we be rounding them up from civilians in Georgia that own it?
We have had a ban on assault weapons before in the United States, and I think that we should do it again. I think that there has to be a conversation of how it's accomplished, because we have to recognize that this is a national conversation. But I do want to push back on any notion that I believe that the Second Amendment is not the law of the land. I support the Second Amendment. We buy my father rifles every Christmas, and a gun cabinet was his gift a couple of years ago. It is possible to believe in responsible gun ownership and to believe that there should be regulations on that. Anthony Scalia said that. And we have to believe as a nation that when our communities are vulnerable, when you can't go into a synagogue or a church or a school or a movie theater without fear for your life, there is something wrong with our system of gun ownership, and we have to fix it.
Okay. I appreciate your honesty, saying that you want to ban it.
So let me just, this is Joy Behar talking. Hi, Stacey. So in light of the synagogue shooting, that we've talked about how much Trump is fanning the racial and anti-Semitic flames. Sarah Sanders says it's ridiculous to connect him to the shootings. Okay? Now, should we be holding him accountable for at least part of the blame? What do you think?
So I recently wrote a book called Minority Leader. And in that book, I talk about the obligations that we have for the words we use and for the way we carry ourselves. If you want to stand in a position of leadership, you are responsible for people following what you say and what you do. I'm not going to blame anyone except for the person, that monster who committed that crime, but I will hold all leaders to account.
Okay, folks, I hope, like myself here, you can only take so much of the view. I hope that. I hope that's all you can take. Now, we're going to deal with some fact, but not to upset anybody, but facts are the facts, just the facts. We're going to deal with them. Now, there's a couple things we can pick out there, and we will. Why did Stacey Abrams go on The View with the most, I don't even know, I don't have words, but why did she go on The View? I'll explain. But let's go back to Moms Demand Action. Now that sounds good, right? How could you go wrong with moms demanding action? Because let me tell you what they did. Michael Bloomberg, okay? You remember years ago, Moms Against Drunk Drivers, right? MAD, is that what it was? Moms Against Drunk Drivers, right? So how could you, and we all sympathize and we support moms against drunk drivers that are, you know, if their child was killed by a drunk driver, we all, you know, we understand that. But this is Moms Demand Action for gun sense in America. So how can you go wrong with that? All right? Take me to number 2. You see the symbol? Every town for gun safety. That is who they are. Every town for gun safety. That is Michael Bloomberg. Period. Now, Kevin McCarthy, which wants to be Speaker of the House, if the Republicans can retain the power, okay, balance of power, Kevin McCarthy wants to be Speaker of the House. I, for one, do not think he should be Speaker of the House for a whole list of reasons. But first and foremost, because after the shooting, the senseless mass murder in Pittsburgh at the synagogue, Kevin McCarthy deleted his tweet from over a week ago before the shooting where he said Michael Bloomberg, Tom Steyer, and George Soros pouring money into these campaigns, these Democrat campaigns, okay, pouring money into them, vote Republican. Well, because the 3 gentlemen that he named are Jewish, he took the tweet down. I'm not going to. I've got to stay with that. It doesn't change. Whether they're Jewish or not, it does not change at all the fact of what they're trying to do. So every town for gun safety right there, right? See the symbol? See the symbol up there? Moms demand action? That's Michael Bloomberg. All right? Michael Bloomberg, folks, wants to take your guns. Let's go to number 3, okay? This would be the former mayor of New York City, Michael Bloomberg, which just recently he went from running as a Republican because he wanted Rudy Giuliani, just real quick, he wanted Rudy Giuliani's voters, coattail. Rudy was a Republican in New York City. He ran as a Republican, then he switched to independent, and now just a couple weeks ago, he has actually re-registered as a Democrat and plans to run for President of the United States under the Democrat ticket. Vote for gun safety, okay? They call it safety. They use catchwords, safety, common sense, all right? Everybody is interested in safety and common sense, and how can you go against moms? So they set this all up, all right? But every town is Michael Bloomberg, all right? And she supports Michael Bloomberg. She supports every town. You did not hear her deny the support, okay? Meghan McCain told her, said, hey, you're supported by every town, which is Michael Bloomberg, all right? And he wants to round up guns, just point blank. She didn't deny that. She's supported by him, okay? And a couple things that she said there, every town, most popular, okay? The AR-15 is the most popular. Want to take them away. Weapons, now her comment, weapons of mass destruction. She said AR-15s, weapons of mass destruction, shouldn't be in civilian hands. Shouldn't be in civilian hands. The AR-15 is the most popular gun. I think she stated there on the video, I did not do the research, 61% of gun sales, all right, AR-15. But Stacey Abrams said weapons of mass destruction do not belong in civilian hands. She will take them away. We're going to come back. When we come back, we're going to look at every town. We're going to look at their endorsement of Stacey Abrams. Then we're going to look at my opinion of why she will then switch to the next Jewish fellow. I just put it like that because that's what the media is trying to make it out. Tom Steyer, and she will participate in helping impeach Donald Trump if the Democrats get the majority in the House. Then we're going to talk about why. We're going to talk about why Donald Trump is coming to Georgia, okay? Why she went on The View. Obama's coming to town. Like, who cares, right? Obama's coming to town, okay? So we're going to talk about why she went on The View, why Obama's coming to town, why President Trump's coming Sunday for Kemp, and how can Brian Kemp win this election, and can he win this election with this kind of money poured in? She will take your guns, is my opinion. She will help impeach the president. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to be right back right after this.